Yo, apprentices, acolytes, and fellow lords coming into the Dark Temple, visited by Mara Jade, Luke Skywalker, and Kyle Katarn, and so many of the Force sensitives like yourself. I'm Lord Dagovere, fam, and it's so good to see you. Let's go. How y'all doing today? Thank you so much for coming here. Hello there, Trent, yo, Skywalker Academy, Anthony 2066, and David Torres, the legends inside the chat. Can I get for the first time today? Ready up. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I really appreciate you. So good to see you, fams. We got a lot to talk about today. I also just got something amazing in the mail that I just wanted to show you guys. Yo, what's up, Phil? Thank you so much for being here on TikTok. Yeah, man, this is awesome. Can you hear me this thing out? Of course, always, Anthony, man. So good to see you guys, by the way. Ready up, man. Yeah, lots to talk about. I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of the stuff that's been trending. One of the greatest artists in Star Wars, especially when it comes to concept art and posters, has passed away, which is pretty damn tragic. So we're going to be mentioning that and talking about it a little bit. But there's a lot of stuff to go over today, a lot of fun stuff that I want to see you guys' takes on. Would love to hear your awesome, down-to-earth, beautiful knowledge, view, and points, man. I hope you guys are doing the thing, listening to the lore, educating yourselves, talking to everybody respectfully about your opinions. You know, and if they're not a Sith, well, then that sucks for them. You got mail call? Yeah, man, I did. I got some pretty good mail call. I'm pretty hyped to show you guys. I actually pre-ordered this back earlier this year when it was first announced, and Amazon took forever to deliver it, man. A lot of people that I had seen got it delivered on Friday. Some people earlier than that too, and I was just one of the last people to get it, but I did get it, and that's what matters the most. So I'm pretty excited about that, man. I can't wait to share it with you guys. But I want to show you at the end of the stream, so when we get to that point, because we have a lot to talk about today, man. You know, as always, we're going to start off with questions. If you guys have any questions, concerns, anything in lore in general, I know that it is the 14th, and last week we went over some Star Wars horror. I want to do some more Star Wars horror, and that's probably what next week is going to be about. And maybe some Visions hype as well, because I feel like no one's talking about Visions, man. Star Wars Visions is one of the greatest projects that Disney has allowed to happen, has been greenlit, and it's got some of the best stories. So yeah, man, we're gonna talk about a lot of stuff. Skywalker Academy says dark side for life, baby. Yeah. Yo, where's my dark side boys inside the chat? Let's go. Yeah, I love it, man. Yo, Fabulosaurus, thank you so much for being inside the chat on TikTok. I appreciate you. We're over here as well on YouTube Live. Friends, let's freaking go. Do you have a favorite Visions episode? I love Visions. It's so damn good. Genuinely, like when I think about Visions, I always think about the duel. I always think about Ronan. I always think about F from the Village Bride. I really like the twins. I like the Elder, Ninth Jedi. Everybody loves the Ninth Jedi, man. There's just so much goodness. I can't wait for you guys to see Season 3. I can't wait for you guys to see Season 3, man. It's going to be really good. I personally think it's going to be the best season. David Torres says, that's what I'm talking about. Dark side for life. We them boys. We're them boys. Skywalker Academy says, The Village Bride is my favorite through Okay, so I wasn't really a big fan of Season 2, but Screecher's Reach absolutely stole the show. I really thought I was going to like Sith the most, which was the first episode in Season 2. Didn't really like it. What was the Darkhead, I think, was also pretty good. Yo, what's up, ZJ? What's up, Zinger? What's up, Carlos? Thanks so much, guys, for being on TikTok. We're over here on YouTube Live as well. Yeah, Darkhead was beautifully animated. I like Ao's song. That was pretty good. But it just didn't stand up to the Japanese anime creators that I've really enjoyed in Season 1. It was very interesting to see the stories, but man, outside of Screecher's Reach, I really just didn't feel like anything really impressed me as much as Season 1 did. Like, Season 1, there was a lot that I didn't do things for people, but man, the Elder was so good. The Duel was so good. Village Bride was amazing. The Twins was just so ridiculous, but it was beautiful. It was a beautiful, animated, so beautifully animated. And then, of course, Village Bride and Ninth Jedi, just fantastic stories. Hello there says the duel was good. Season 1 was better in my opinion. Yes, I agree. I've also heard that season 1's viewership was much better than season 2. I did not hear that season 2 did too well. I think there was only 2 episodes that were watched more, and that was the Dark Head, which was the Korean anime one, and then I heard that the Chicken Run episode with the racing, those were the 2 most popular ones in that series. Yo, thank you so much. Hey, yo, what's up, fam? Thank you so much. From Sydney again, thank you so much for being here. I can't, is it Decamo? I think it's Decamo, right? But thank you again for being here, fam. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're going to talk about some good stuff. I got some I got some mail. Not fan mail. I'm not that type of creator. I am not that guy. I got some mail stuff in the mail today, and I can't wait to show you guys later in the stream when we get there, man. But it's going to be super duper fun. I like the animation for the Sith from season 2. Yes, that was pretty cool. I also like the villain. There were some things that I thought they were good. I just didn't think they were as good as season 1. All right. So you guys want to get into the bad takes and everything else that we have. As you guys can see, I've definitely heard some things over the interwebs about Star Wars and people's takes on these things. And, you know, I just can't agree with a lot of these people. But the first thing that I wanted to go over, funny enough, is actually this, which I think is really interesting. This was really cool that I saw, and I wanted to talk to you guys about. So let's go over here, and it is Hayden Christensen and George Lucas. And what it says is Hayden Christensen recalls going on a walk with George Lucas one evening while filming Revenge of the Sith. And Hayden says, George ended the conversation by saying this to me. Hayden, you can't change the world. It is not possible. All you can do is try to make your own world and then invite other people to be a part of it. It is one of the most profound things that anyone's ever said to me, and it has informed me the way I live my life. I gotta say, when I read that, I was absolutely impressed by what George had said with his words, because one of the biggest criticisms I think George Lucas has as a director is his dialogue. Like, people think his dialogue is like trash. I mean, Alec Guinness was always talking about how terrible the dialogue on the script for Star Wars was. You know? And even Mark Hamill, everybody jokes about how bad dialogue is in Star Wars. It's never really been a strong suit, you know? But George Lucas saying those words, I felt like is probably some of the greatest words that I think he's ever put together in a sentence, you know. And there, of course, you know, there's some bangers in the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy, man. But like, you can't change the world. It's not possible. All you can do is try to make your own world and then invite other people to be a part of it. I think that is so beautifully said. I think that is beautiful. Yo, what's up, Drift? Thank you so much for being here, fam, on TikTok. Appreciate you. We're over here on YouTube Live as well. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Him saying that was incredible, man. Like, especially to Hayden, too, because at that point, you know, Hayden understands that people have something to say about him and his acting ability, you know? And the fact that George is saying that, especially in that era of his life, because Star Wars is essentially done at that point. He's done. Revenge of the Sith is done. Those are all of his 6 movies. He's done making movies. Hayden's career in that point is also practically over, and he probably didn't really want to come back to Star Wars. And of course, I'm pretty sure a lot of you have seen that interview where he's talking about, oh yeah, you know, I'm not really sure I would come back to Star Wars. And then they ask him if he would ever voice the characters in the Clone Wars, and he was like, yeah, I would love to do that, but I never got the call. Never got the call, you know. And that, I've always been really sour about that interview, because it just goes to show you like how Hollywood can be influenced by people's opinions very easily. They can be swayed to not bring up a project, not start a project, you know. But I don't think his acting is bad. I never thought his acting was bad. Mind you, you know, when I watch Star Wars back then, especially when I grew up, you know, with Revenge of the Sith coming out in 2005, I was a sophomore year in high school, because your boy is Unk, you know, and I never thought he was a bad actor. I thought that he perfectly portrayed someone who was extremely complicated and had mental illness. And was honestly being manipulated by the devil himself. So I felt like what he did, especially in Revenge of the Sith, was exactly what we needed, But during that time, just like the sequel trilogy, a lot of people really hated the way that he acted. A lot of people hated Star Wars, although most fans at the time thought that Revenge of the Sith was the better movie of the trilogy. They really had something profound to say about the prequel trilogy, But I didn't think he was bad. But I do also think that it's no shock that he couldn't really get jobs after, because it seems like a Star Wars curse when that happens. Like, it's very hard for people to get into other movies. It's hard. It's difficult. It's very difficult, especially when you're one of the main characters. Yeah, it's crazy. David Torres says, I thought he acted great, to be honest. I never understood the hate, and I'm glad he's getting his flowers. Well deserved for Hayden. Yes, same. Especially, a lot of people criticize Disney and a lot of people criticize Lucasfilm, but that's one thing I think they've done so well, is allow Hayden to have his flowers. Because there's so many people that grew up with Hayden and Anakin Skywalker. There's a reason why there are so many Anakin Skywalker's fans, and it's because that character called out to people. Did it call out to their guilt? Did it call out to their mental illness? Did it, all the above? Whatever it was, because Star Wars, in my opinion, is a lot about atonement. It's a lot about redemption, and that's why the qualities of Anakin Skywalker, I think a lot of people just really latch onto, and it's not really about whether he's guilty or he's not. It's just about being a character that is so interesting, being tragic, suffering, flawed. People like those things, especially when they can see themselves, their flawed selves, in those things. And I think Revenge of the Sith Anakin really, 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 gets people emotionally upset, and I think that was so powerful about that character, because Anakin Skywalker is one of the most tragic characters in entertainment history. I love the way he portrayed it. I think that's a character I will never not love. He's important to a lot of people's growth and the franchise itself. That's why he's the chosen one, Thank you so much, guys, for coming over here on TikTok. Appreciate you. Yeah, we're going to be talking about a lot of good stuff. Whoa, what the flip? I just noticed something else that I got in the mail. Okay, cool. So there's stuff I got to show you guys in this mail, man. It's pretty sick. Skywalker Academy says he's very human in that regard. Yes, I agree. 100%. Yes, absolutely, I would agree with that. It doesn't mean that he's perfect. He's not innocent, in my opinion. He's more guilty, way more guilty, even with his redemption. But that's me as an Anakin Skywalker fan, and I believe that I'm one of the more realistic and down-to-earth Anakin Skywalker fans on the internet, because I can love my boy and I can criticize him, and call him out. Yeah, so there's definitely a lot. Yeah, there's definitely a lot in the room too. If we have time, I'll definitely show some stuff. Thank you so much, Abyss. Yeah, and I think that George quote is just so important, not just to today, and criticism in general, but I think George was really speaking to him in the most transparent way about criticism and about how no matter what is going to happen, you just have to be yourself. People are going to criticize you no matter what, and I really appreciate how George, spoke to Hayden in that way, and it's glad to hear that. Anthony says, I hear this a lot. What some people say a lot of people is really said as some, not as many as some think. Small number of. I don't know. I don't know if I can agree to that, especially with so let's say back then in 2005, where I had just got done watching Revenge of the Sith, and I went into school. And everybody that I talked to, mind you, there's barely any YouTube at this time. There's barely Facebook. Okay, there's no social media, that we have today, like Twitter or anything else. There's online stuff and there's forums, but no one is anywhere near as connected as they are today, right? And everybody that I was talking to in school, in real life, parents, family, they all hated Hayden, all of them. Every person that was the reality, and very similar to how Qui-Gon Jinn says in The Phantom Menace, your focus determines your reality. Well, if everybody I'm around is saying these things, that's what I'm going to feel too. So I definitely felt like an outlier, an outcast, because even kids in school were talking about how George Lucas needed to sell Star Wars during Revenge of the Sith because they were afraid that he was going to make or redo 4, 5, and 6. And a lot of people just really, really hated that idea. And I think that's crazy now, too, because now you see people hoping that he had bought it back and he didn't sell it. And I just think it's really interesting. But at that time, in that realm, that was a lot of people. Until YouTube came out and I started reading YouTube comments and seeing that everybody liked Hayden. Well, not everybody. Most people liked Hayden. Most people liked the prequels because they grew up with it. You know, that was crazy. Yo, Brian, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you, fam. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's crazy stuff. Hello there says, the prequel kids are growing up now, so it's getting more love. Many of my friends used to hate on the prequels, and now we have the sequels. And I don't think the sequels will be as loved as quickly. I do think, though, it will in time be accepted, maybe in like 10 plus years. I think it's a lot harder to be liked because, you know, people get paid to say things. People get paid to not say things. And I think influence is so important these days. A really, really good example of this is not just Star Wars, but also the Tron franchise, where, like, I'm a really big Tron fan, okay? So I wasn't really too into the idea of the first movie, but I loved Legacy. Legacy is an amazing movie. I love the animated series, Uprising. And I just recently saw the new Tron Ares, over the weekend, and I think it's a great movie. Do I think it's as good as Legacy? No, absolutely not. Do I think it's as good as Uprising? No, absolutely not. But I can absolutely see the same history is repeating itself with the Tron franchise because people are being told that this is a bad movie. And those people that are saying these things, in my opinion, they are not real Tron fans. I think they're Tron Legacy fans. And that's okay. That's cool. But, like, if I was going to sit here and see most of these people that are talking about this movie and ask them if they've actually seen the first Tron movie or seen Uprising or played some of the video games, I don't think they would. And I think that's the whole point, is that it's cool to like things that are approved these days. And I think that in 10 plus years, you'll see that people actually liked Ares, but maybe the damage has been done to that franchise because that franchise doesn't really make money. I'm surprised it got a new movie. I'm surprised it got a ride at Disney and is merch. It's insane to me that franchise is as relevant as it is today. It's actually kind of crazy. But I love that franchise so much, man. And I hope people don't bash it like they do Star Wars, you know, because it will not survive. Anthony says, still, the people you yourself are around versus the bigger numbers of the fandom, small numbers, goes for each of us. Math. Okay, I understand. You're very set on this idea, and I think that you should continue to see it this way. For me, I'm not sure. Like, if I go into real life and people are saying this, and I go online and people are saying this, and then people are not backing it with money, I don't know if I can say that it's just online. You know, for instance, like The Acolyte. There's a lot of people that like that show, but I think there's way more that don't like that show. And I think that if there was more people that like that show, it wouldn't be canceled, you know? Same thing with a lot of the sequel trilogy. You know, I think that everybody that likes the sequel trilogy has something to say negatively about one of the previous movies. I'm not saying these people don't know what they're talking about. I'm just saying that everybody has something to say negatively about these certain things. It's so consistent enough to me that it makes me feel like it is the majority of people. And I think that's the difference between legitimate hate of everybody else versus like a very loud majority, you know? Because I would say the loud majority hates Kylo Ren. The loud minority hates Kylo Ren, which I don't think is true. I think majority of fans love Kylo Ren. I think majority of fans love Finn. I think majority of fans probably are okay with The Force Awakens, you know. But I think very clearly these days, it's a little bit more obvious about what is successful and what is not, and money determines that. The success of the films determine that. You know, people can talk about Marvel movies and Star Wars movies, but if they're bringing in billions every year, then, you know, that's why the franchise is probably still around. Thank you so much, Kebs and Mikey on TikTok. Appreciate you guys being here. Hello there says, I only just need to experience something before making conclusions based off other people. Yes. That is everything in this, you know. I really believe that is the mentality everybody should have. Even if it's something like me, because, you know, honestly, guys, you guys can call me out. I think by now everybody in this chat understands that I'm pretty down to earth when it comes to opinions about Star Wars. If you love the Legends continuity for 40 plus years and you think it's far better than anything Disney has ever conceived, more power to you. I'm very happy. If you think that the sequel trilogy is the greatest thing ever and you love Rey Skywalker, I'm so happy for you. You know, I like both. I enjoy parts of both continuities. But at the end of the day, if I tell you that I think something is shit, or if I tell you that I think something is amazing, I urge you to go do and watch it for yourself, because I don't want to influence you. I want to make you curious, you know, and I want you to ultimately develop your own thought process and your own verdict on whatever it is that we're talking about, because I want you to engage. That's my agenda, you know. That's my agenda, you know. The only thing I would probably influence you on is like how maybe you go about hating something or talking about something the way you hate, you know, because I just don't want to influence everybody to shit talk somebody else, you know, over the internet just for the sake of shit talking and being an asshole, you know. I want to help with knowledge and education, and hopefully that is what I can do. Skywalker Academy, yeah, honestly, I need to experience it. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. I think that's such a great take. All right, so let's get to the next one. I thought this was really interesting, and this is honestly the entire stream. Yeah, this is very, very. Actually, I can't even. Maybe I'll do this. All right, let me see here. Yeah, this is it. Okay, so I don't know who said this. All right, guys, and everybody from TikTok, everybody else, I want you guys to please give me your most honest opinions about this, because when I saw this, I could not for the life of me agree with this statement. I don't know who said this. But I think this is a very interesting take, and I'm not sure it is the correct take. And everybody has their opinion, but I'm not sure if this person really understands the expanded universe in Star Wars. All right, so let's get to it, right? So this is what we have here. You know, I tried to have nuanced conversations about how Star Wars use resources to become more of a girl brand, but these are the actual big announcements from the Star Wars from Star Wars announcements from Star Wars from NYCC. They are making literal romance novels now. They are making literal romance novels now. I don't see. I really don't understand the take. Are we upset because that there's romance in Star Wars? Are we upset that there's romance novels in Star Wars? Are we upset because they're making romance novels in Star Wars? I don't really understand. And I'm not gonna bash this person. Everybody has their own right to say something, whether it's smart or really fucking stupid, you know? And I don't think you should be judged, but I think there's a time and a place where perhaps maybe we need to understand that we're wrong about something. And right off the bat, the original trilogy is a very good example of how awkward romance can be in Star Wars, and I think Star Wars isn't really Star Wars unless there is a romance component to it. Leia, Han, and Luke is by far the weirdest love triangle I have ever seen in Star Wars. You know, Luke in the first movie is very interested in Leia until all of a sudden it's his sister. Empire Strikes Back absolutely is a love tale, and I don't understand. Did we forget I Love You, I Know? You know, the scoundrel and the princess. You know, it's a very huge part of Star Wars. You know, I'm not sure, and even the original, even the prequel trilogy, of course, with Anakin and Padme. That specifically, those are 6 movies where love is a huge component of not only the most important side characters in Star Wars, but also the main characters in Star Wars, with Han, Luke, Leia, Anakin, and Padme. You know, that's the whole thing. And we can go even further beyond, as I quote Goku here. Let's do Legends continuity only, right? We have Secrets of the Jedi, where there is romance in that book. We have Shadows of Mindor, I believe, where there's also romance. We have Survivor's Quest, which is Mara Jade and Luke. That's romance. We have also the Kenobi novel, which has romantic elements in it, and I would also argue has a romance arc with Kenobi, when all he's thinking about is Satine and this other girl just wants him. I am really not certain about the idea that they're making literal romance novels now for Star Wars. I do not understand. Where have you been? Even Knights of the Old Republic, made by BioWare, that literally lets you have sex with anything and anyone in their choices in video games, is one of the biggest components of the expanded universe. You can be a guy or a girl, Revan. You can romance. You can flirt, turn people to the dark side. I'm not really sure what are we trying to do here. Is it because that there is romance in Star Wars and it's not something that you want? I understand. But romance is in every corner of the Star Wars universe, and I just think that this specific quote, whoever said this, I think that this is wrong. You know, usually I think that everybody's, you know, entitled to their opinion, which they are, but I think this is legitimately wrong. This is incorrect if you're looking at Star Wars and you're claiming to be a Star Wars fan. That's how I feel, guys. I don't know who said that. I usually just get these things sent to me, or someone tags me in them. But I think that's crazy. Why is romance now a problem is my question. That's actually a pretty good question. Do you think that person said that romance is a problem? I think it was more so that they were upset that Star Wars is a girl brand, but I don't see Star Wars as a girl brand. Do you guys see Star Wars as a girl brand? I just think honestly, I think it's more of a guy brand. You know, like, I don't see Star Wars as a girl brand. Bro, you see this shit? You think any woman would be impressed by this? What? That is not a girl brand. You think any woman would be impressed by this? This is a girl brand? You think? You think any woman will be impressed by my darksaber? I don't know if that's a girl brand, guys. You know, like, just genuinely speaking, I don't know. I don't know, man. What do you guys think? Am I crazy? I don't know, man. You know? I don't know, man. Personally, you know, if I take a screenshot of this stream and I'm like, hey, ladies, your boys got Lego, your boys got Funko, your boys got encyclopedias and source books, you know? I don't know if I can agree with the statement that Star Wars is a girl brand and romance is a problem, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's really interesting, guys. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who said that, so I'm not sure, but instantly that quote, whoever made that quote, I feel like just comes off as someone that maybe they like an aspect of Star Wars, which I think is cool. You know, like if you only like lightsabers and the Force, I get it. You know, but reading this, I mean, clearly this person does not like a lot of the new stuff. You know, I'm not sure what part of the Star Wars criteria this person likes. You know, I just can't agree with that. Anthony says, well, then we just disagree. Well, okay, so let me see. Star Wars has always been for girls, too. Yeah. I mean, Princess Leia, dude. You know, outside of that, you got Ripley, you know, an Alien, you know, Stormy Weaver. But Padme's a bad bitch, yo. Like, are you kidding me? What? What? Bo-Katan? Obviously hasn't been as around as much as Padme, you know, or Leia, you know? I don't know, man. I don't know what we're talking about anymore, honestly, when it comes to this stuff. Skywalker Academy says Star Wars is for everyone, people all ages and backgrounds can be a part of this galaxy forever. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I don't even think that there's that much romance in Star Wars. You know, another one is Dark Disciple, which I'm pretty sure has a lot of romance. Lost Stars is another really good example, and you can go on the Expanded Universe Star Wars Reddit, where those are like a lot of die-hard Legends fans, and they think that Lost Stars is one of the best Star Wars books. It's up there like in the top 10, top 15 of their rank system, where they have Bane and Plagueis, you know, like ranked up there, in the Heir to the Empire trilogy. So what are we talking about? That romance? I don't know, man. I don't get it. Yeah, we could talk about Thrawn and Ara Alani as well. You know? We could talk about Mara Jade and Luke. Come on. What are we talking about? I don't know, dude. You know, I'm going to show you a picture. That's why I had the thumbnail, too. You know? That's why I had the thumbnail, guys. You know, like, this? This is in Star Wars? This right here? For everyone on TikTok, we're talking about Mara Jade and Luke Skywalker. This isn't Star Wars? I don't know, man. What are they looking for lice? You know? I don't know. Are they looking at each other's credit scores? I don't know. Looks like romance to me. Look like they about to make it happen. They about to get busy. I don't know, man. I don't know. And that's in the 90s, guys. That stuff's older than the prequel trilogy, man. I don't know, dude. Yeah, I'm not really sure what that person was thinking. Skywalker says, watch Dagovere find one girl, make a fan. It's crazy. Anthony says, well, then we just disagree. Yes, right, I already read that, my bad. David Torres says, I would love to see Ezra hook up with Shin Hati and see Sabine get jealous and maybe even turn to the dark side. I don't know. It's really interesting what they're trying to do with Ezra and Sabine. I always thought it was some sort of crush that they had on each other. Yeah, I don't know. But I'm also in the league of the idea that not everybody needs to be with somebody, you know? Like not everybody needs a partner, you know? I think that shipping is can get out of hand, and I think that it can ruin some stories. You know, I like the idea of someone being alone, you know? And not because that they are alone and then there's no one for them, but because maybe that they are okay with just themselves. You know, or tragedy. You know, maybe you did love at one point and you just don't want to love anymore. Berserk is a very, very great story that I think has a lot of components of suffering that Star Wars does. And as I've always told you guys, I think Gollum, Guts, and Anakin Skywalker are like on the Mount Rushmore of some of the most suffering characters of all time. Guts is a perfect example of someone that loves and is with no one, you know? I think it's a beautiful character. But I don't like in stories where they just hook someone up for the sake of putting them together, you know? Hello there says people are saying Luke and Ahsoka are together. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that. I don't really think Ahsoka really thinks much of Luke, you know, outside of like, oh my gosh, you know, my master's son. But I don't really think that they're as close as people see them, and that's because we just don't have any interactions with them whatsoever outside of the Book of Boba Fett. Like, there is just nothing. Anthony says, no to derail the convo, but Rip Drewster's and yeah, I know, man. Yeah, I was talking about it in the beginning of the stream. By the way, guys, if you haven't, Drew has literally made some of the greatest covers in all of Star Wars. He's made one of the best Empire Strikes Back poster that I've ever seen. He sadly passed away, I believe, yesterday or today. So if you haven't, go check his art. Please, please, please give Drew and his family all of your praise and respect for everything that he's contributed to the Star Wars universe, because they just do not make the same covers like they used to, man. Yeah, Brandon says, we need to see a first meeting between Ahsoka and Luke. I agree, 100%. I would love to see that. I would absolutely love. Thank you so much, Brandon, for being here on TikTok instead of YouTube Live. I appreciate you. Skywalker Academy says, that was when Ben Skywalker was conceived. Yeah, man. There's a lot going on. Yeah, I really do not understand that the no romance stuff. I'm not really sure that makes it. Yo, Director McCarr, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, fam. We're also on YouTube Live. Okay, so let's get to the other one. Let's check out. Oh, I think there's something that I wanted to show you guys. This is from the Tron. It's behind the scenes for Tron. Okay, and I wanted to show you our boy Cal Kestis. So Cal Kestis is doing some freaking moves, and Cameron can move. All right, Cameron can move. Look at him. Look at our Jedi. Look at this guy. Look at our fallen Jedi. Look at this guy. Look at him doing it. He's such a boss, bro. Like, he's so good. So what I wanted to talk about here is you can't kill Cal Kestis in this third game. If you kill Cal Kestis in this third game, I think you're going to squander so much potential of Cal Kestis being one of the best new characters in Star Wars. Why? Because Cameron has he's been practicing martial arts ever since he was a little kid, right? He's even talked about this in the Jedi Fallen Order behind the scenes stuff about how well equipped he is for martial arts, and how he's even made his own tricks that go into the fighting style of Cal Kestis. Do not kill this guy in the game and bring him into live action and make stories about him in live action. He has the physique. He loves playing the character. Please make live action stories after this kid and graduate the character from video game media into live action. I'm telling you, man, I think this is the way you should be doing this. He needs to survive. Cameron is too good of an actor not to have this guy in live action in some form. Please, please do this. He was trained by Luke Skywalker. I only have you here. I don't really watch lives on YouTube. That's cool, man. I really appreciate that, you being here. That's sick. Yeah, he was trained by Luke Skywalker in the commercial. All right. So you guys want to see the male stuff? All right. So, as you guys have known, I know I love Revenge of the Sith, and we always talk about the stuff here with Revenge of the Sith. And today I got the brand new, with new annotations and everything, the brand new Revenge of the Sith Deluxe Edition by the one and only Matthew Stover, baby. Let's freaking go. So I'm going to show you guys on TikTok and on YouTube everything, how beautiful this thing is. It is gorgeous. So first thing I want you guys to see is the labels. This is how it feels to be Anakin Skywalker forever. This is how it feels. Let me see, I'm vertical. To be Anakin Skywalker forever. This is one of the best lines in the entire book if you have not read it. This is the line that literally made me understand that Anakin is Darth Vader and Darth Vader is Anakin. A lot of people don't like that, but it made me understand that your boy is he does not have a split personality. He is Darth Vader. So the photo on the front is the concept art, which is amazing. I think that's Ryan Church. I'm not sure. It could be somebody else. The art is phenomenal. Guys, you open this up and look at right there. Romance in Star Wars, baby. What did we just romance in Star Wars? There's no such thing. That looks nice. It is beautiful, you know. It is gorgeous, guys. It is insane. It is so beautiful. Let me see the last page. Oh my god. I love this concept art so much. This is what it feels to be Anakin Skywalker forever. Look at that, guys. Look at that, man. That is gorgeous. So, I really do think that if you guys are fans of Revenge of the Sith, if you guys are fans of the expanded universe of Star Wars, so for me, here's the thing. I get a lot of questions about whether or not the Revenge of the Sith novelization is canon. Since this is a brand new version of this book, and while the main story in it is most likely unchanged, there are brand new annotations that Matthew Stover has put into this, and that's the whole reason why I'm getting this. So I'm going to check those out, and when I'm done reading it, I'm going to talk to you guys about it, see what's canon, what's not. But as of right now, this to me, in my head canon, this is not real canon. To me, this novelization is bits and pieces of canon to me. You know, I think that it's canon. There's a reason why Revenge of the Sith Anniversary, they don't really do this often with other continuities and novels of the expanded universe. Right now, this is canon to me. So I'm really curious about these annotations, guys. Does anybody have a certain... Ooh. Interesting. Oh, guys. All right, so I'm already checking out some of these notes. So at the bottom here, let me see. Yeah, you see that though? At the bottom, you can see the annotations already. So I'm very curious about what might happen with Mace Windu and Darth Sidious. I very much want to see if anything has changed, if Stover has commented and said something about, oh no, you know, Mace actually won, oh no, Sidious actually won. That's the stuff I really want to know. Footsie's my guy. Are you going to the midnight release for Pokemon? I ams. I'm so excited. Everybody welcome Footsies with a ready up. Let's go. You should ask to have Matthew Stover on. He's been on the Star Wars podcast, and I would love to. Do you guys think I'm worthy of that? I mean, like, I think that'd be really cool. I mean, it's real. So here's the deal: is like you guys know, like I don't have millions of subscribers like everybody else. You know, I know stuff, but you know, I'm not as cool as everybody else. I'm trying to get there. You know, that's why we're doing the TikTok streams. That's why we're doing everything else. So I'm trying to get there, and we're doing it. We're like every day. You know, we're getting closer. We're almost at 10K subs. You know, but if you guys really want me to try to reach out and bring on some of these people, I would love to. I can absolutely bring one of the producers of Star Wars Visions on. Would you guys like that? Would you guys? And this guy has been around Star Wars for a while. He was one of the first Lucasfilm animation employees. You know, knows Dave, has worked on a lot of Star Wars projects. If that would be something you're interested in, I can absolutely bring that person on with their permission. We could do that, and maybe it could help educate you guys on who this person is, how important they are to Visions and other anime and everything else. If you guys are interested in that, I would love to do that. We like all things. I appreciate you, Steven. I appreciate you. I'm glad that you are here. Do it. Ask. Okay, I will absolutely ask. Absolutely. One other person I've always wanted to bring on is Chris Avalone from Knights of the Old Republic. I got a lot of Old Republic juices in me, baby. I want to ask some questions, okay? Maybe we could do that. Maybe we could just ask questions and have a fun, really good conversation. And maybe it doesn't always have to be about Star Wars. Maybe they could tell us stuff about their new stuff. Yeah, who knows? Would you guys be into that? Press 1. We don't have Logan here. Where's Logan? Where's Leon? Where's the troops? Script is detailed with visual elements of the whole city. Oh my god, we got a lot of annotations, guys. But I think that's gonna be it for today, guys. Check it out. Beautiful. Ugh, man, the twilight of the Jedi, and it ends now, and the end starts now. I love it, man. I think it's hype. I think it's pretty cool. But thank you, everybody, on TikTok. We do this every single Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you guys want to watch us on YouTube, please go ahead. But I'll see you on TikTok next time, guys. Thank you. Make sure you follow the channel. Have a good day. I'll see ya. Bye-bye. All right, everybody on YouTube. You guys are cool. Man, TikTok is crazy, dude. TikTok is always spamming. It's insane how many people. I can see the shows coming from the end. Yes, I can't wait. Oh, by the way, guys. So here's the thing. Here's something that I wanted to show you guys. How many of you actually like legitimately see the YouTube Shorts? Because there's one thing I wanted to show you guys, and it's been happening a lot to a lot of creators. So I just want to show you guys so you guys don't have to deal with all this nonsense. Lord Dagovere, question: if you could interview any actor from Star Wars, Hayden Christensen. Hayden Christensen all day. Hayden Christensen all day. Like, it's not even a thought. I like Hayden Christensen so much. I love Anakin. Anakin's my favorite character. I would probably ask Hayden dozens of questions, not just like pertaining to like Star Wars lore, but also like his personal feelings regarding certain characters, maybe what he thought about like a character arc, what he wanted to do, what he's excited about, why he came back, you know. I think that there is a certain element that, how do I say this? I think you guys are very important to the world. I think you look in the mirror and you have to understand that you are the only person that talks that you do, that thinks the way you do, that speaks, that messes up, that fails. Like, you are unique, right? In some way. Maybe it's good unique, maybe it's bad unique. The whole point is that you are one of one. There is no one else like you, and there will never be anyone else like you in the existence of all things. And so, me, when I own that, which I think is very important for us to own that, right? I saw Star Wars a certain way in 2005, that I liked Anakin Skywalker. He spoke to me in a certain way. Other individuals and other grown-ups could not. And I learned from his failures how not to be a failure or a tragedy like him. But there were parts of that character that still to this day resonate with me more than anything else. So I would love to ask Hayden, not just about Anakin the character, but about Hayden and everything that he went through going through those times, and how the hell he just did it and gave us one of the best performances, one of the most insane athletic performances, what he did to motivate himself to just be Anakin Skywalker when the whole entire world did not want him to do it. And I think that's a very important part of a character, because I don't just see Anakin as Anakin Skywalker. I also see it as Hayden and his struggles with Hollywood, specifically about people calling him a shit actor. You know, there's a lot of podcasts today that have millions and millions of followers, and they still shit talk Hayden to this day. You know, they shit talk Revenge of the Sith, you know, the prequel trilogy. They just do the same thing that everybody else is doing these days, you know. And I'm very curious to ask him questions. Maybe people I've asked before. Maybe he won't even ask it because it's too personal. But I would like to understand how he was able to do that and have one of the greatest comeback careers of all time in Hollywood, man. You know, it's just an amazing story that I'm not necessarily sure Star Wars fans truly understand how special it is for him to have that comeback, you know. And today, you know, with the Ahsoka stuff, you know, the Kenobi stuff, everything that is going on with him, and how it's just like he's back in its prime, and I do not ever get sick of seeing him. You know, how would he go back in time and tell 2005 Hayden Christensen, you're not done yet, buddy? it only gets better. You know, I don't know. That was really personal, and I'm sorry. But you know, it's Star Wars. I can't help but be super passionate about this shit. So, yeah, man, that's how I feel. Question, footsies. Yeah, man. That's how I feel. That's the type of stuff I would ask him. Will that ever happen? I'm not sure, but I think that growing the channel is a really good step in the right direction if we want to do that stuff. You guys want to talk about Star Wars lore, you know that's why I'm here. That's what we talk about. We talk about issues with the community and everything, but it's all about the lore. It's all about Star Wars, always and forever, man. His role will be bigger in Ahsoka Season 2. I can't wait. I hope that's true. Support your local Imperial Garrison 501st Legion in the region that you live in. Join today. So, here's the deal, guys. Before we head out, I wanted to show you guys something. Leave the big Star Wars podcast alone. Pay no attention. I don't. You guys know. I don't really watch anybody. You know, if something pops up on my For You page, it's just because you know, the algorithm just decided to show me creators I don't really want to talk about or care about. You know, I'm really invested into this channel, guys. It's really given me so much purpose, and I love seeing all you guys in the chat talking. Even if you're just scrolling by and on the freaking community tab saying next time for sure when I talk about who's going to show up to the stream, like, it's still really important to me because there's people out there that don't get a single viewer. There's people out there that don't get listened to, you know. Yeah, so at least I have 17 people in the chat right now listening and talking to me, you know. So here's the thing, guys. This fantastic, amazing, beautiful Star Wars horror playlist that I have going on right now, you guys can check it up. It's uploaded. It's going. We're going to be doing this till Halloween, and then we're getting back into new content. But everything has been set up for the next 3 weeks. I am uploading these at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you don't see them, please check the channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. They will be on there. It literally helps the channel grow and other people get in there and watch. So if you want to see something spooky, if you just want some Star Wars lore, please, man, send it to your mom, your auntie, your cat, your Pokemon. I don't care, bro. Seriously, even if you guys sit in there and watch it for 1 second, it literally helps out so much. But YouTube will not show it to you unless you watch it one time. That's just how it is. So if you guys ever do that, if you guys want to send it out, please, man, go out there, check it out, see what's up. It's some good stuff, man. I think the channel is really coming into its own, and I hope you guys can get the full effect of this fully operational Star Destroyer lore channel. Spooky! Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. Some good stuff. Some freaking good stuff. But if you guys have any more questions, we have any more questions, I will wait for like to show the mail. Yeah, it was the book. It was the book, Anthony. It was the book. Did you see the book? It was the book. I showed the book. It was the book. The book. Look at the book. It was the Revenge of the Sith book, man. It's such a beautiful book, man. I love this thing. I love it. Now I have the old one and the new one, and the old one is over there, but it's pretty awesome, man. Yes, mail on screen. Yeah, that's all I have right now. But yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Footsies, it's so good to see you, man. Always a pleasure, my guy. Everybody else, you guys know what time it is, man. Every single time. Tuesday, 8 p.m. Coming into the Dark Temple. Visited by Mara Jade, Luke Skywalker, and Kyle Katarn, and so many other Force sensitives like yourself. I'm Lord Dagovere, fam. And I'll see you around. Deuces.